So the defendant buying the gasoline. We had the gasoline can in front of the home, not with the others.
Right.
Near the living room where the fire originated. Let's bring in our guest to talk about all of this. Criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf and a friend of the program. Nice to see you. What's your major takeaways right now where we are in the trial?
Well, this is damning evidence, right? Because we have had testimony that there was accelerant on this victim when he was found, and that accelerant was gasoline. And so when you show somebody getting gasoline the day of, it's going to be damning evidence. And this is somebody who was brought to light later, and this is going to be something that the defense is going to have to answer for.
And how are they going to do that in cross-examination? I ask that because they've been pretty zealous and aggressive and a good defense team, but how do you cross something like this? Because the fact is a fact, and she seems pretty credible, even though she testified she really didn't want to be involved.
Well, I think that what you say is you have to get involved. You know there's this tragedy in your town. You know about this fire. You know that you saw somebody who was involved in it buying some gasoline. Why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you volunteer this information? Why is it conveniently available now? Why do you remember these finite details of it now? This is too convenient. That's how you have to present it to the jury.
Ah, that's a good approach.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of surprising that so many witnesses always have problem remembering what happened so long ago. But this woman, she's just like, yeah, I remember that. Her credit card was red. You know, I mean, it was just
very different.
All right, we do have to take a break right now. Jeffrey, you're going to be sticking with us all hour. Thank you so much. Coming up, an update out of California for the murder case against Monica Simontilli. Can you believe it? They're finally in closing arguments. We'll take a look.
I wanted to be a reporter since I was 4 years old. I always knew that I wanted to tell stories. I feel really proud that I work at Scripps News. Our reporters get to delve into the topics that we care about and that we want to dig deeper into. There's a real investment in going where the stories are, giving people the full picture, reporting what is happening firsthand.
Alex Miller, Scripps News, New York.
For live reports, breaking news, and headlines from across the country, stream Scripps News.
Lori Daybell.
Already convicted for the murders of her children.
Doomsday Cult mom is now lawyer Lori.
She's representing herself.
On charges of conspiring to murder her fourth husband.
She said, I can murder you now.
She really thinks she's equipped to try this case.
She appears very sure of herself.
I have real trial experience.
It's going to be a strange trial. We'll see how it plays out.
The Cult Mom Conspiracy Trial. Live coverage begins Monday morning, only on Court TV.
I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifleman. Just make it good.
Ion is on with 3 networks to enjoy.
Yeah, it's on.
Yes, showtime.
You're gonna want to see this.
It's on.
Ion, Ion Plus, and Ion Mystery. It's on. They're consistently caring.
There she is.
Reliably relatable.
It's a cleaning comforter. You can wash these?
And dependably honest.
Got everything?
Everything but happiness.
Hilariously, brutally honest.
Austin says I don't listen enough.
Does he also say you drink too much? Because that's coming.
How else does a kid learn?
Encouragement, positive role models, cash if you're tired.
One of today's funniest shows, The Counters. Weeknights starting 11/10 Central on Laugh More.
Bounce elevates and celebrates the achievements of HBCUs all year long.
From the classroom to the field, we are making history.
Bounce HBCU Yearbook.
You go get him, Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Watch live TV for free. Meet Tablo. Access over 90 free channels, including popular shows, news, and live sports. Plus, you can record, pause, and replay. Always 0 monthly fees or contracts. Order a Tablo Total System at TabloTV.com or these popular retailers.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Join the case that puts you in the middle of the mystery.
The answer's in front of us.
And keeps you guessing till the very end.
Anyone's guess who's next.
Every twist, every turn.
Everything we need to find this guy is right here.
Eye on Mystery. Join the investigation.
Insurance.
Before we head back to court, a quick update out of California, where closing arguments are finally underway in the celebrity stylist murder trial for Monica Simontilli.
Prosecutors say that Simontilli conspired with her lover, Robert Baker, to kill her famed hairstylist husband, Fabio, for the insurance money.
During closing arguments just earlier today, the prosecutor, Beth Silverman, told the jury that Simontilli and Baker compared themselves to the infamous Bonnie and Clyde. Take a listen.
Bonnie and Clyde were famous for robbing people, killing people. They were a couple and they were on the run, and so you hear Baker making comments about how he and the defendant are Bonnie and Clyde because they were destroying everything and everyone in their path, and you heard them in the back once again scheming on how they're going to explain away the evidence against themselves and how they have to stick together, because if one rolls on the other, meaning one talks or testifies against the other, they both go down.
Keep it right here on Court TV for more updates on air and online throughout the day on that case. Yes. Now let's head back to the murder retrial for Linda Sturmer in Michigan. The state there says that Linda killed her husband Todd, deliberately set the fire that killed him, and then lied to cover her tracks.
Now, the defense, however, argues that the fire was started by accident. They say no arson, no crime, not guilty. Remember, the fire is the cause of death for this victim. Let's go back into court together now. Still on the stand is the gas station cashier who sold Sturmer gasoline the day of the house fire. Right now, she's on cross-examination by the defense.
You explained to him what you explained to this jury today?
Yes.
I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Loach.
Yes.
How long have you stated that you, first of all, you stated that you have worked at this Marathon. Is it a convenience store or is it a gas station?
It is both. It's a convenience store, gas station. It is a bigger convenience store now that has a new owner.
Okay. And the location of it was where?
On West St. Joseph Street in Lawrence.
And you stated that it has been completely redesigned?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the 18 years that you worked as a cashier at the Marathon service station, have you ever seen anyone pull up to the gas pump, get out of their car, open up the trunk of their car?
Yes.
Have you ever seen anyone pull up to the pump in an SUV, get out of their car, open up the back hatch of the SUV?
Yes.
Okay. On multiple occasions, right?
Yes.
Didn't find anything suspicious about that either, would you?
No.
Okay. Now, on the date of January the 7th of 2007, what was the weather like?
It was a little bit chilly in the morning when I went into work. It was winter time still, so I would say cold.
Was it raining?
No, not in the morning.
And it snowed? Was it snowing?
No. We had had snow prior, but it wasn't snowing that morning, no.
Was the sun out?
I think it kind of was a little bit.
Okay. You wear glasses?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In 2007, were you wearing glasses?
I don't remember if I had my glasses. I think I probably did, yes. Yes.
You know whether or not you was wearing your glasses? That day on January the 7th of 2007?
No, I probably wasn't because I didn't need them as much back then as I do now.
You know what your vision is in 2007?
No, pretty well, I guess. I don't know.
You didn't know what your vision was?
No.
Did you have to wear your glasses to read, or?
Like I said, I didn't wear glasses as much back then as I do now. I just didn't. My vision was probably pretty good back then.
But you had to have glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, did you know Miss Linda Sturmer prior to January the 7th of 2007?
I knew of her, yes.
How did you know of her?
Like I said, we lived in a small town. I also worked a full-time job at the school. So I've seen them at sporting events, school events, in-town events, you know.
Okay. Just as common residents of the area, right?
Not close friends. I didn't know her on a personal basis, no.
You've never been to her house?
No.
Okay. Never met her husband? Or
no,
had you?
At the gas station. I have him and the boys used to rent movies there quite a bit.
Okay. And what all does the gas station sell?
Gas, alcohol, groceries, chips, you know.
Lottery tickets?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Were you at the time part of the custodian of records there at the gas station?
Could you repeat that?
I say, did you have anything to do as the custodian of the records at the gas station?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No.
And you stated that the time that you referenced to on the receipt that was shown on the screen, that this time was 9:03, but you stated that was, or is it 10:03, 10:06:55, but you stated that wasn't the correct time?
Correct.
And that was because the owner didn't want to change?
She manually, when the time changed, she manually did not remember to change it in the register.
So it was an hour earlier that you would say that your observation of what you saw of Miss Sturmer would have been 9:06. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, did Miss Sturmer come inside the store and have a conversation with you about any purchasing of any other items other than the gas?
She came in and purchased some items in the store, yes.
Okay. Did she have a conversation with you?
She just said she was just picking. It was very nice of the lady that owned the station that she carried grocery items there. It was very small talk.
Okay. So the purchase of the gasoline, was it purchased inside the store or was it purchased at the pump?
That was purchased at the pump.
Was it purchased at the pump?
Yes.
With the same credit card that the other items inside the store was purchased with?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where were you Well, let me just go back. After Ms. Sturmer purchased the items and left, you didn't have any reason to suspect anything about any unusual activity that occurred at that pump by Miss Linda Sturmer, right?
No, I did not.
Absolutely nothing that would give you any reason to think that anything was done that would be suspicious, right?
No.
She was just a common customer like all your other customers, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you heard about a fire later on that evening, right?
Yes.
Hitting the pause button of testimony there in Michigan. Now, before we head to break, a quick programming alert out of Wisconsin.
Tomorrow morning, convicted killer Taylor Shabusiness is back in court. This is for a preliminary hearing on a new charge after an alleged attack on a prison guard.
Shabusiness, who is currently serving life in prison for killing and dismembering her lover, allegedly lunged at a nurse and then struck a prison guard with an object, and they tried to intervene.
And that hearing begins tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You will not want to miss it. We're going to be right back with more after this quick break.
Before next week's season premiere of Interview with a Killer, relive the most shocking moments of season 1.
Tell me, why are you here?
She needed payback for what she did.
You meet someone that make you angry and you shoot them.
Are you not prepared today to take responsibility for any of your crimes?
Interview with a Killer Marathon, Sunday at 7. And season 2 starts Sunday, April 13th. Only on Court TV.
You got us banned from being room parents? I have never been more in love with you.
Who wants to go for donuts?
Show him your folding trick.
I'm not in the mood for your sheet right now. That's gotta hurt, huh?
You keep me coming back for more. I didn't hear anybody knock. Shall we proceed?
My paw is the best shot in the whole world. Isn't it exciting?
They call you the rifleman.
Just make it good.
Bounce elevates and celebrates the achievements of HBCUs all year long.
From the classroom to the field, we are making history.
Bounce HBCU Yearbook.
Coming soon to Court TV.
It's the biggest story that we're covering.
He is the boogeyman.
Lori Daybell.
She said, I will have you destroyed.
She's got another murder trial coming up.
A social media sensation, now a suspected killer.
We will not stop fighting. We have no quit.
Sean Diddy Combs arrested on a federal indictment.
The high-stakes trials you don't want to miss. Coming soon, only on Court TV.
You go get him, Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be a reporter since I was 4 years old. I always knew that I wanted to tell stories. I feel really proud that I work at Scripps News. Our reporters get to delve into the topics that we care about and that we want to dig deeper into. There's a real investment in going where the stories are, giving people the full picture, reporting what is happening firsthand.
Alex Miller, Scripps News, New York.
For live reports, breaking news, and headlines from across the country, stream Scripps News.
Start watching TV for free with Tableau.
Switching to Tableau has really been a money saver.
With Tableau, I can record something on my phone, I can pause it, I can go get a drink, come back, I can continue in the family room.
Order today at TableauTV.com.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Ion is on with 3 networks to enjoy.
Yeah, it's on.
Yes, showtime.
You're gonna want to see this.
It's on. Ion, Ion Plus, and Ion Mystery.
Wow!
It's on.
Now to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, where it's day 3 of jury selection in the retrial of Karen Reed. The process could be difficult because so many people have heard about the case and already formed opinions.
But so far, 10 jurors have been seated, 5 men, 5 women. Attorneys are looking for at least 16 jurors, but I understand the judge has discretion to say either 16 to 18 jurors. Reed, as you may recall, stands accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend John O'Keefe in 2022. We are going to bring you all updates as we gear up for this highly anticipated trial, which is very divisive amongst people believing she did it or she didn't.
Yeah, it's not just the protesters that you see on TV or the supporters, but it's also people within their families at Thanksgiving, can't even talk about the case because it is so divisive.
So divided,
but I'll be there helping to bring you coverage each and every day.
Yes, live from the
For now, let's head to Michigan, where we're watching the murder retrial for Linda Sturmer. She's facing life behind bars if the jury finds her guilty of killing her husband, Todd, from the crime that happened in 2007.
Let's get you back into court now. Still on the stand is the gas station cashier. She sold Sturmer gasoline the day of the house fire. The defense attorney has been asking things like, the defendant wasn't acting suspicious, was she? And the answer was no. Let's go in for more cross-examination.
But you didn't know where the fire was, right?
Not when I saw the fire trucks. No, I did not.
Okay. And when did you find out where the fire was?
When I spoke with my sister-in-law, who is my nephew is a friend of one of the Sturmer boys, and that's when I found out. It was much late into the evening.
Okay. And did you make a statement that you had seen Miss Sturmer earlier that day at the service station, at the gas station?
I don't think I did.
You didn't?
I don't think so.
That wouldn't have been something that would have caught your attention, the fact that you had seen the mother of one of the sons whose house had been burned? That you had seen
when I was on the phone with my sister-in-law, I said I had seen them in the morning. I had seen them in the day, but I said that's horrible. I mean, it was enough out of sadness. I had seen,
Yeah, but my question is that in a small town, you hear the fire trucks, you later on find out that the fire was at a location of a home of someone that you didn't know real well, but you knew them as town residents because of the school activities, and that you had also seen one of the parents at your location where you worked that morning. So when your sister called you and told you,
Your Honor, is this a question?
well,
I mean,
yes, it's going to be a question, Judge.
Very long testimonial here.
Well,
Could you just
it's
ask
going to
the
be a question, Judge.
Yeah, if you could get to the question, please.
Did you tell your sister that you had seen Miss Sturmer earlier that day at the store?
She just answered that she did say that. She said, how horrible she saw him. She already answered the question.
Did she answer the question, Judge?
I will let you ask that last question again.
Just the question.
Yeah, just the question, your last question about did you tell?
Did you tell your sister that you had seen Miss Sturmer earlier that day?
I said to my sister-in-law, oh my God, I had seen her this morning. Yes.
You
And I
did?
said, what a horrible tragedy.
Yeah. And you told her that you seen her?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. That's all I want to know. Now, Who was the other person that you stated that you had a conversation with about Miss Sturmer?
I don't understand what he's getting at.
Did you have a conversation with someone else after you talked to your sister about Miss Sturmer coming to the gas station?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. How did you wind up having a card at your home from Detective Macioski?
Probably from Detective Wydick.
Okay. Detective Wydick?
Or a policeman Wydick. I don't know. A deputy, I should
Did
say.
you have a conversation with him?
Not that day, no.
But I just said, did you have a conversation?
I wouldn't really call it a conversation. He would just come in and ask me if I spoke to anybody from the sheriff's department. I would say, no, Tim, no, I haven't.
Let me ask you this. Was it a common practice for this detective to come, this deputy to come into the gas station and ask you, had you had a conversation with anybody from the police department or the sheriff's department?
It was common for Tim to say anything he wanted to people. He was a very open person, I guess.
Okay. And being an open person, he just asked you, did you know what?
He asked me if I was in contact with anyone, and I said, if they need me, they know where I'm at, is all we ever spoke.
Why would he ask you if you had been in contact with anyone?
I don't know.
One moment, that does call for speculation, I'll sustain.
Did he tell you why he was asking you if you had been in contact with anyone?
No.
And who was the anyone he was talking about? If you know.
This calls for speculation, I'll sustain the objection.
And at some point in time, you stated that you received a card, you had a card at your house.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
In your door?
Yes.
From Detective Macioski.
Correct.
And you contacted Detective Macioski?
After I received the card, yes, I did.
What did you have to go and have an interview with Detective Macioski?
Yes.
Where?
At the sheriff's department at his office.
Okay. So what did you tell Detective Macioski?
I answered all the questions that he had for me.
He already had questions for you?
Well, he asked me, did I work that day? I said yes. He asked how long I was at the gas station that day. He asked if I had waited on Mrs. Sturmer. I said yes. So, yes. I guess the basic questions he needed answered.
And that was it?
Yes.
You didn't tell Detective Macioski that you saw Miss Sturmer putting gasoline in any other part of the car other than the gas tank?
Whatever questions he asked me, I answered to him. I don't remember exactly what questions word for word he asked, but the gas was discussed that day.
He said what?
Still with us, criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf. And Jeffrey, I think the defense attorney also is trying to follow breadcrumbs and do little things to discredit this witness, starting with the glasses. Did you wear glasses at the time? How was your vision? You don't know how your vision was? Or you weren't the custodian of the records? No. She's not acting suspicious? No. But is it enough to either affect the credibility or prove that this didn't happen at the gas station?
Well, the glasses thing is the My Cousin Vinny moment, right? What do you wear? Glasses. And what are those things? Leaves. And what are they on? Trees, right? That's the My Cousin Vinny moment. But what really worked in here is that he actually got under her skin. She goes from being this mild-mannered, just the facts ma'am witness to being somebody who's now super annoyed with him and feels like her moment in the sun is being tarnished by this pesky defense attorney who just wants to talk to her about what she told to who and when. And I think that the prosecution is doing what Shakespeare said, the lady doth protest too much. He's asking a very simple question. What did you tell your sister that day? And he's getting this roundabout answer from the witness, and so he's asking it again, which is what you should do. Instead of asking the judge for help, saying, make her answer my question, he asks it again to get the answer he wants, which is she did not tell her about this, and she did not tell the detective what she is telling this jury, and now she's getting annoyed because the level of detail she is telling this jury is not the level of detail she told anyone back then. And she remembers all this detail, but she doesn't remember what she told the detective. I don't think she has the same level of credibility now that she did before.
That's a good point. And, you know, I love his reference to My Cousin Vinny because that's what the courties are saying online. You know, they're also talking about his tone of this particular defense attorney. What do you make of that? Do you think that he's losing the jury a little bit, or he seems a little bit combative?
Well, he was combative right away. What I was always taught by my mentor, Skeet Johnson, is the rule of escalating punishment. You only punish a witness who has earned it. And he started punishing her before she earned it. If he had held off on that tone until right now, when she's gotten snippy with him, the jury might have bought it up, or ate it up, I should say. But he did it too early.
Great advice on how to be a great defense attorney. Thank you, Jeffrey Wolf, for joining us this hour.
All right, coming up, more testimony there in Michigan. Plus this, the grandmother sentenced today for that death in the hot car.